Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the California Touge podcast. Joining us tonight, we have Nero with his P71 Lincoln Corvette situation over here. Hello, Nero.
Lincoln Town Car, I have.
Lincoln Town, yeah.
Hi.
Well, it's some news about that, but then we also have Tez with BRZ over there.
Yay, slow.
And Liam with his mysterious invisible Alto that can glow in the dark.
No.
It's like it's like Schrodinger's cat, Schrodinger's Alto. I can't actually confirm if it exists or not because no one can.
So, we heard some news from Liam, or rather your shop that you sent your Alto to. What's going on with it exactly?
So I call them up this week. I'm like, can you just please give me an estimate for the car? Because now the only thing that they're doing is making me a turbo manifold, because my father-in-law picked up the transmission and brought it to his friend Wolfgang, who runs a Mercedes-Benz transmission rebuild shop.
Oh, wow.
So he's working on that, and I'm just waiting on 2 more parts to come from Japan that I had to order through a person I met. Actually, no, I didn't meet. I met him way before that, but he's the runner of the C Chassis Alto Works group on Facebook, which is
yeah, you mentioned that last time.
Yeah, it's actually been fucking wonderful, especially realizing that, oh, wow, I can probably crank the horsepower out of my Alto to 160 horsepower.
That would be crazy, dude. That's like nice. Almost 3 times what it has now.
Yeah, actually, if I can get it to 180, but apparently that's the point where things start to blow up.
Yeah, I mean
that's with a stock engine too, right?
Yeah, no, you don't have to. All I need to do is get some forged pistons, because apparently I talked to the previous owner and he already put forged connecting rods in it, so just need the pistons.
That's
fascinating.
So
the shop, this is already at the point where they lost the parts that I needed for my rebuild, which is why I'm waiting right now for more parts to come. So they lost it. Of course, they reimbursed me. Oh, they reimbursed me for it, but they're gone. So I had to wait even longer for the parts to get here for my dad's friend to fix it, or my father-in-law's friend to fix it. So now while I'm waiting on that, I call them up. I'm just like, can you just give me a fucking estimate? Because now the only thing that you guys are doing is making the turbo manifold for me, which they said was basically done. But now I'm not so sure, because I talked to someone else who gave me a different story. I don't know if it's done or if it's not done, but he also mentioned, like, oh yeah, we need to get up an estimate for you because of all the the intense all that custom fabrication work we've done for you. Bitch, what? I specifically asked you. What the dude quoted me is like, oh yeah, I can throw together just like, I don't know the difference between the 2 types of manifolds. There's like, one where you get all the piping like length really really even and stuff, so for peak performance. And it's like, no, this is a fucking Alto. Just do the shitty one. And he was like, oh yeah, at most it would cost you $160. So what the fuck? What do they mean tons of custom fabrication work? Like, you just made me a slapped together exhaust manifold. What the fuck are you talking about? So I need to berate them tomorrow. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I don't even know if the fucking thing is done, because the way they mentioned it on the phone, it was like, oh yeah, when we finally get the manifold finished. So does that mean it's not done at all? Does that mean that it's almost done? Does that mean that Okay, Yimmy Sport in California. Big shout out to Yimmy Sport. One of the top rated tuning and like rally building places in California. Real great job. My car has been sitting there since February 29th, and I think the only thing they've done for me is take out my engine and transmission and lose my parts.
You know what, Liam? I think I know what it is. So that's in Valencia, which is by where Magic Mountain is. Remember? Yeah. That's like almost. This place is like less than a mile from where the shop that fucked my engine rebuild on the M3 completely. Like,
so you're saying it's a local thing?
Yeah, so I guess Valencia is just where like cars go to not have the work done properly.
Oh, it's really fucking great.
Yeah, and they make you wait 6 months for the most fucking garbage quality work.
Fun thing though, I did find out that there is a supplier here in the U.S. that makes polyurethane bushings for my car, which I ordered.
Oh, that's cool.
The only problem is they're only for the front, because the bushings for the back are part of the swing arm, and if you want to replace those, you have to punch them out and then press fit in polyurethane bushings to the rear.
You know what's funny about my car is that the rears you can get polyurethane and the fronts you can't.
Why? Like, why is this a thing? Why can't you just get bushings?
I don't know. It seems like an easy thing. Like, yeah, I don't get it.
So that's fun.
I don't know, Liam.
I don't know when I'm going to get my fucking car back. I don't know if it's ever going to be back. I found a guy up here who's been working on my Suburban for me and been doing incredibly great work. And apparently he builds race cars in his spare, like on a side thing for his shop. And he said he'd work on my Alto. So, and that's a block from my house. So that'd be nice.
Oh, cool.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think you should just like pull your Alto out and just.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I mean, we're going to be after Christmas. When Christmas hits, we're hitting the road, because since I'm doing Instacart and doing grocery delivery, which by the way is now picking up insanely high because no one wants to drive in the snow. And we got our first light snow today, which was heavy enough that we were slipping and sliding even when the snow plows came through. So no one wants to go out and no one wants to do Instacart. And so actually, because I took today off, I get one of those messages from them like, hey, there's a bunch of batches in your area that no one's picking up. Maybe you'd like to do that, huh?
Yeah.
Nervous
laugh. Driving in snow, since you grew up here in California.
I mean, it's fine. The only thing that sucks is that, I mean, I have like snow rated tires on my Suburban, so it's okay. But the only problem that sucks right now is that my that's what I'm getting fixed up. The transfer case for my 4-wheel drive is just it's like flip a coin to see if it'll work. It doesn't actually like to engage. It's that stupid electronic like engagement. It's not like a lever on the floor. It's you push a button and then pray to God that it'll go in. I mean, I guess it works fine if the transfer. He took it out and he checked it out for me, and it's like, oh, they have to use like a fucking crowbar to like switch between 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive, which is not normal. So he's grabbing me one.
But all right. I mean, like I want to get back to like the Alto. I wanted to ask, like, or not ask, but like kind of say like you should probably consider just like making it clear to them that, you know, not only do you want your car back, but you can actually, you know, sue them for the lost time and whatnot.
You're not going to get shit from suing anyone for like that kind of crap.
Yeah, but you could potentially threaten that in this instance, and that might get.
Dude, the Bureau of Automotive Repair, ruled in my favor and shit. And it's like that's the only reason I was able to get any money.
Like, they haven't fucked up my car. They just haven't done anything to it, and they haven't charged me any money
that you know of.
I mean, they lost my parts that they paid me back for, but
they lost your parts, but what else could they have fucked up, you know? I don't know. Maybe just be ready for if you do pull it out and get it over to where you currently live in. Just be ready for problems, maybe. I don't know.
Listen, man, if they fuck up my car, all I'm saying is that I'm going to drive down there, going to pull up right out in front of their shop in the middle of the night, and I'm just going to whip back.
Oh, he died.
Sorry, I cut out there. Sorry, I cut out there.
He's going to whip out.
I'm just saying, the people running the shop, maybe they should, watch their back, because you never know who might pull up behind you.
Yeah.
Dude, my connection's really shit tonight. Wow, that's crazy.
Hey, you know what? Jim Grubbs Motorsports, also in Valencia. I would definitely recommend if you are planning on.
That's a good suggestion, man.
Anyway, so moving on from the Alto,
let's do the Jet Beetle.
You want to talk about the Jet Beetle?
Jet Beetle.
Okay, so recently, over like the past 2 weeks or so, someone I believe in San Francisco, the Bay Area, who's like an engineer of some kind. I don't think he's a rocket engineer, but engineer nonetheless. Installed a jet engine to the back of their VW Beetle.
Mind you, he did this a long time ago. His webpage, I don't think it's been updated since like 2006.
But it's for sale now on Craigslist. That's the point.
I don't get the street legal.
Because
that's a fun thing. Actually, I have his webpage open in front of me. I can tell you that apparently they have really, really, really tried to get his car banned off the road.
I mean, it is California after all. So,
but here's the thing: he brings it to the small shop, and it passes because the front motor and the front drivetrain is completely unmodified.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, if anyone had actually seen the picture of this Beetle, the jet engine is just coming out of the back end, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I've seen that.
And the rest of it, I believe the major setup that he has within the car is that he also, I think he puts fuel between the engine and the jet engine somehow, or he can divert fuel that way or something along those lines.
It doesn't use gasoline. It uses a separate tank.
So what this is that it's literally just a regular Beetle with a jet engine on the back.
Yeah, it's basically a car with two engines in it. If you ever seen those, been to a drag strip, those two-engine cars, but it's basically.
Oh, here I found the bit. This is the last update I found on the website.
I've seen them do that. I've seen them do that with Civics, by the way, Derek. Or they'll just literally slap 2K series motors.
You have to give the California Department of Motor Vehicles credit for creativity on this one. A DMV insider has disclosed to me that the DMV has made a formal request to the federal agency to rule if my Beetle constitutes a threat to national security based on what could happen if it got into the wrong hands. This raises three questions in my mind. 1, does that mean I'm the right hands? 2, if someone with the name B. Laden 13 is the highest eBay bidder for my Beetle, can I refuse his offer even if he has the prestigious eBay Red Shooting Star feedback rating? And 3, would this affect my eBay rating?
Oh my god.
That's fucking great.
How much is it currently going for? Last I heard, I thought it was going for at least like $1 million, wasn't it? Or
Craigslist is 550. Yeah,
550.
The other project he was apparently last posted about is taking a Honda Metropolitan and throwing on 2 JFS 100 jet engines to the side of it.
What is it with jet engines?
That's just an oppressor from GTA.
Yeah, it's the Beetle oppressor.
I mean, the motorcycle with jet engines, James.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Let me find the one where he talks about how basically car magazines would just blow him off. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm just imagining how many cartons of soy milk are next to James' desk right now after playing Cyberpunk. Huh?
I was doing the tune.
Anyway, since there's a sudden bit of quiet.
Liam.
I found it. I was built to look as if VW delivered the car this way. It handles fine and is safe. I was thinking of putting it into an import car show, but the promoter told me that it looked too plain and recommended that I put some decals on it, lower it, and put on some aftermarket wheels. Sure, kid, put on some flimsy wheels that won't take a curb and don't center on the hubs. Lower the car so the tires rub and get cut by the body using springs that bounce me all over the road and advertise for companies that couldn't engineer themselves out of a paper bag. I think he's a little salty.
Yeah, just make it look. Dude, it looks too ordinary with that gigantic jet engine sticking out the back.
I would have thought the 14-inch diameter tailpipe was enough for him, but I guess it wasn't. Response from the Hot Rod magazines has been slow. One editor told me that it is because I didn't use anything they advertise, but the response to driving it on the street and going to hot rod shows has been fantastic. This car attracts crowds better than any 32 Ford, 69 Camaro, or decaled Honda.
But that was Suzuki Alto.
I'm sure if the Alto ever actually existed and wasn't just a deviant art fan fiction, I'm sure it would draw crowds.
So I have a few announcements, sort of kind of just things stuck out. My car. So I've been swapping on my limo rear axle with the select lock differential. That's it's a clutch type LSD when it's off. It's locking when it's on. I've also swapped the shitty coilovers I bought like an idiot to ADTRs. And, I put some new brake pads on. I've got a new deep transmission pan. But the problem is I can't finish swapping the axle because the lift got stuck because the motor failed. So the car's been stuck on the lift for a week. So that sucks. So in the meantime, it looks like a car on a lift. except it doesn't move. Is that sufficient for you?
No.
I find it funny because you got the lift, what, like 3-4 months ago at least? Or
yeah, it's failed like 3
within
times.
the year. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
What brand was it? Was it Changjiang? Changjiang car lift?
It doesn't say on there.
Changjiang happy car makeup.
Well, you know what the funny thing is too, right? Is that my dad bought a lift that's like supposedly rated for 15,000 pounds, and the arms are so thick they won't even go under a stock ride height Crown Victoria without jacking it up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and it's funny because he has like these. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna lift the Porsche and the Corvette on it." It's like, no, you're not. The only reason I can even get the Crown Vics on there is because they're full frame, so you can jack them up from anywhere. There is no way you're getting a unibody car onto those things. Like, absolutely no way.
Is there a possibility to like replace the arms to make it,
I don't know. It's not. I mean, like, it's not my
what the
problem.
fuck is he like lifting? He's like
They're
fucking
his
lifting
cars.
like semi trucks
I
or
believe
something.
they do make like the little feet that go at the end of a lot of lifts. They do make ones that like imagine that they go out just a little bit further, but then they go down to about floor level.
Yeah.
I can't really describe it, but I do know that is a thing I've seen.
Maybe. Yeah, that could be a thing, but, point is the lift is ridiculous. So in the meantime, I can't really take it cross state lines, which is like usually I just go to California, but I've been driving the supercharged Corvette that my dad got for us to supposedly use as a track car. But it's funny because if I ask him if I can drive it, he says no, which doesn't make sense if it's ours. But he doesn't know about that, so it's all good.
Tell us about the Corvette. I actually didn't know it was supercharged.
Yeah, it's a Z06. It's supercharged C5. He changed the tires. They're 295s all around. Basically all the work was done by the previous owner though. It's fucking fast as shit in a straight line, but it has like this really weird kind of shimmy in the rear. That transverse leaf spring thing is not. I don't think they're as stable as just a typical coilover suspension. But overall, Corvettes are actually really interesting cars. If you look into it, the transmission is actually in the back. The engine's in the front and the transmission's in the back. And the way they do it is they have a torque tube between the engine and the transmission.
Wait, so like the old Alfa Romeos or something?
I'm not specifically sure which ones you're talking about, but most likely, yeah. But it feels really stable if you're lightly on the throttle. But if you're like trail braking through a corner, like the rear end like wiggles back and forth in this really weird way. Or if you're transitioning between left and rights, it wiggles. Or if you're transitioning between throttle and brake, it wiggles, and it's just kind of awkward. And it'll do a burnout in fourth gear going 60.
Oh, that's pretty nice. But it sounds kind of awkward on the Touge itself with that kind of wiggle you're describing there. But have you actually
posted the transaxle?
Yeah. Have you actually put the Corvette on the dyno yet, or like how with a supercharger? How much power does it put out?
I think the previous owner dynoed it. It was something ridiculous, like 550 wheel horsepower. I don't know if that's the exact number, but it's a very powerful car. It's got a 6-speed manual, and their shifter is really nice, so that's good. Like if you look at that transaxle, it is a lot like that one, except there's a transverse leaf spring, which is like the Corvette is the only car that has that setup, and it's really kind of weird.
Maybe there's a reason no one else has used it.
Yeah, I know, and I can see that one you posted actually has a watts linkage like the Crown Vic does.
Well, are you planning? Are you or your dad planning to modify it in any way to, I guess, make it handle better or anything like that?
Well, I think it needs having actually driven it, because he wouldn't let me before, even though he says it's supposed to be our track car. And like, look, how are you gonna say it's our track car if I'm not allowed to drive it? Like, how am I
gonna
drive
it? Then you might crash it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why would I even want to drive a track car where I'm terrified of crashing it at all times? Like, why can't it just be like a Corolla or something?
Yeah, the worst part is you haven't even. Your dad hasn't even taken it to a track yet, has he?
No. Yeah, he actually went to I forget what it was called. It was a racing school up in like Monterey or something over this past week, and apparently they were driving like S197 Mustangs, so like the 05 ones.
Yeah.
And apparently they were all on 500 treadwear all seasons that have a 45,000 mile warranty. But they got stop tech brakes though, so they're good XD. Like how you have a racing school on 45,000 mile warranty tires? And apparently one of the guys, and all these guys are from the Ferrari club. My dad doesn't have a Ferrari, but his friend runs the club. So they all go out and fucking do dumb shit together. So one of the guys, when they had their like fucking meet where they went up to Yosemite or something, my dad was in his Porsche. So he managed to cause $26,000 of damage to the Porsche. One of the guys totaled the Ferrari by going off the road right in front of a cop. So that was pretty epic. And then one of the other guys from the group, apparently at the racing school, totaled one of the Mustangs by losing control of it and slamming into a barrier, and it caught fire.
That's just a feature of the Mustang. I mean, that's just kind of...
They could say Ferraris are really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I got a Ferrari, bro. And it was funny because one of the other guys at the racing school, like one of the instructors, was just shit-talking Ferraris the whole time, and it got a lot of the guys mad, apparently.
I mean...
Listen here, I bought this car, okay? I bought it, and I know I technically don't own it, and that Ferrari can demand it back at any time. But listen here, it's mine by rights, damn it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, you just said your dad like caused like around $20,000 in damages to his Porsche. That 911.
26 grand, yeah.
26 grand, yeah. That 26 grand. I'm assuming with these like supercars or hypercars or whatever, got to take it to the dealership and have the dealership do it to retain its value or something, right?
No, well, the Porsche is like I don't know about Ferrari and shit, but like the thing about the Porsche is he was driving behind someone like really closely, and apparently they were all driving through gravel, which is dumb as shit. It destroyed his windshield. It destroyed both front headlights. It destroyed the hood. It destroyed the front bumper. It destroyed all like the front radiator and intercooler and all that shit. So like,
wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were originally going to say like, Derek, I thought you were going to say like, well, yeah, with these like supercars, it was like $26,000 worth of damage. Was that like he like, scuffed a wheel or something? Or
he didn't even hit anything. Like every car I've ever owned combined. No, my dad didn't. Yeah, no. He just literally got hit by gravel.
Yeah. He just literally went off road for like 10 minutes and caused $26,000 worth of damage to his Porsche.
It wasn't even off road. The road was just covered in gravel.
Here's a quick question.
Every car I've ever owned.
Keep going.
Every car I've ever owned combined costed less than 26 grand.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Anyone here watch the Grand Tour?
Nah.
I haven't watched it yet either, but
I don't watch it religiously, but I've seen season 1.
The new episode that's supposedly coming out, apparently they convert a Caterham like R500 into an off-road like Baja style.
Oh really?
I kind of want it.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, I used to watch Top Gear, but I haven't really watched the Grand Tour that much or at all, really. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe because I don't have Amazon Prime, so I can't watch it.
Yo, dude, who the fuck pays for streaming?
That's true as well. Well,
you know how much of a boomer my dad is?
Mm-hmm.
He wants to buy a $1,400 pop-up headlight delete kit for the C5.
Wait, describe the top of head.
A $1,400 pop-up headlight delete kit. He wants to spend $1,400 to make it no longer have pop-ups.
Wow, that's actually pretty amazing because
yeah.
I mean, I don't particularly have a hard-on for pop-ups, but I know a lot of people do, and it's kind of a feature for those cars, even though no one makes them anymore.
It was the last car sold in America that had them.
I couldn't find the Caterham, but if you guys look in the chat, there's a post of the Ford Focus RS that they put onto off-road tracks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I won't call them tank treads, but they're definitely treads.
They sell those onto cars. Actually, we'll see people with those on like off-road.
My diffs, ouch.
That's pretty epic, to be honest.
My open cassette style engine, I can't take that.
Speaking of cassettes and stealing shit, Travis is not here today because he's too busy. Probably, I don't know. He's either flying, playing some shitty game on Steam, or crashing his car in the mountains.
Or all of the above.
Yeah.
Well, moving on then. We have Tez here who recently went to a autocross thing. Tell us about this because this was actually your first experience compared to like the Touge and stuff.
Well, I want to say that it was, firstly, it was just a lot of fun. It's a great kind of experience because you don't really have much fear of hitting anything. And if you like value the having a car at any point, it's nice that you can actually learn to push your vehicle more, here than, on the Touge or anything like that. I wanted to say that like my experience was, I feel like I learned more than I've ever learned on the Touge in like such a shorter period of time. And it's just nice and like relieving in the sense that like you can really actually like push yourself and like actually learn, which is fun. I had a blast and I want to say that the environment's like really nice too. Like people are really friendly. Everyone's just there to have fun too. So it's not like there's like any pompous attitudes to deal with or anything. It's just everyone's there to drive,
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I completely understand that because when we drive through the Touge, of course, none of us wants to crash, and none of us wants to completely push it as 100%. I think in the group rule, we kind of say don't go past like 80% of your potential on a Touge to make sure don't crash and everything like that. And no cone fagging or autocross or whatever. Definitely allows you to make mistakes because you won't be, falling off a cliff when you do.
Oh yeah, and actually, funnily enough, like while I didn't have any like spin out moments, like Colin, who had come along that Wolfspade, he was pushing the heck out of his Miata, and he did like he spun out like 4 or 5 times the entire event, and like he was obviously having fun, and he didn't care that he spun out. He's just he's learning. But oh my gosh, he hit a million cones and had really bad times for a bit. But finally on his like last lap, he finally put in like a time that was really good. It took a while though. I was putting in decent times, but I mean after reviewing a Fandy, I could definitely do better. I'm definitely still kind of a newbie at it. But he was able to put in a better time than me. That little turbo Miata just goes. So he's having a lot of fun too, but dear Lord, he just spun out like a bajillion times. It was fun to watch.
That's kind of interesting because me personally, I actually have a hard time getting my rear wheels loose in my Miata. But
it's Miata.
Yeah, but the thing is, speaking about the autocross and stuff like that, so I'm assuming also helping you learn further in this and as improving your driving is also the ability basically to take a full racing line instead of like on a Touge, because we always try to be careful to stay on one side of the road.
Yeah.
Even at night, sometimes we're fearful of just someone just coming on the other side because again, these are all public roads. Exactly. And a lot of times we can never, even if we see like headlights around the corner or something at night, we might not have enough time to actually react to that. So we always try to be safe on the Touge and stuff like that and shit like that. Now, autocross, I mean, did you pay for anything for this or was it cheap or?
It's pretty reasonably priced. I think I spent something like $75. $60 covered I believe the 4 main time laps. And then X runs, which are basically just extra, runs you can do on that course. So I got in about eight full runs in the day. So it was about $75, I believe. And that's 60 for the driving and then 15 for the weekend membership. You don't have to get the weekend membership. You could just buy the full year stuff if you wanted to save a bit of money. I ended up getting that after because it seemed like a good idea since I wanted to actually get into all of this. But it's not terribly expensive. I mean, if you have to like put in some like a comparison here, like going to like an actual dedicated track, like at their official track days, you know, like Chickwalla or like Buttonwillow, you name it, like you could be dropping $200 for the day and might only get probably about the same amount of laps, sometimes probably less, depending on like what class you're in and, you know, what the general competition is. You just don't know, you know. And I feel like it's a really good value for what it is. It's definitely you know, I think worth the time and the money. I think what was cool though, was the working on the course. Like I think other people would bitch about this and be like, why am I paying if I have to help out, you know? But I don't know. I thought it was cool because you get to be on the course, you get to see the cars kind of go by, and you kind of get to, you know, learn the course a bit better if you get to work on it prior to driving it. That definitely helped a little bit. I don't know. It's definitely a lot of fun to just get involved with it and like, you know, be so like important in the process since everyone's helping out and then everyone gets to have fun, you know.
Yeah,
so I want to say. Oh, sorry. Good.
No, I was agreeing with you because I think for the upcoming all of us here or most of us here will be camping with each other. We would do this every year or so, and I think it would be a good idea to actually bring cones for ourselves, just a cone fact for ourselves.
Yeah, I give everybody a chance to try it out, and yeah,
well, hold on a second.
It's people to come along.
For like the past like 3 desert campout meets, I've brought like 100 cones, and even when I set them up, no one did it.
Really?
Well, I'll be doing it. The times that you've come, I did. The last time we had cones out, that was Winterhoon. Cones,
only me and Travis did it.
Wasn't that Winterhoon? And then like,
no, it was the Junehoon after that Winterhoon.
Oh yeah. I always forget about that Junehoon.
The first Junehoon I went to, we actually did it. Then at the Winterhoon, it started raining after we set them up. So that kind of made sense because we had to get off the lake bed. And then the third one I set up, it was the Junehoon after, and I had set me and Travis had set the cones up, and we were the only people who actually did it. So I'm not too thrilled about the idea of doing it again, but like if people actually be down.
Well, I'll help out and set up too.
Yeah, I'd be totally
put up like a one, like everyone puts in $1 as the cash prize.
Everyone has to get involved.
Wow.
Well, no, it'd just be funny because then like, look, there's a cash prize of $10.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be kind of fun too. Just like put in a pot like $1 or something, and just cone fag whoever has the fastest time wins the pot, which is probably.
And then it can be just like that Call of Duty championship, and then we can all dox each other and send SWAT teams to each other's.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a blast.
Yeah. No, speaking as a poker player, as soon as you put money into something, like even like cone fagging like this, it could actually interestingly raise the stakes because like even like $1 or like $10 at stake changes people's mindsets pretty quickly, especially since we're all kind of mostly poor. Yeah. So I think that would be kind of interesting. We do that, but mostly I was thinking I would be interested in doing doing cones this Winterhoon because we didn't do that during Junehoon last time. Like honestly, for Junehoon, we didn't really hoon that much besides Han and them doing drags on with their Volvo.
Yeah, and that's fun and all if you have horsepower, but it isn't for me.
Yeah,
and any other low horsepower brainlets. It could be better. I actually though wanted to say earlier where you mentioned like how we're used to going on the Touge and then like not taking like the best lines because like we're trying obviously not to get ourselves yeeted into a cliff or hit some dingus in the road. And actually I found that that mentality worked pretty well when I was up at any road and me and Nero when we have driven, like we've had a good time and had some really good paces, but we're not always taking like the best line because like obviously some wacky corner comes up, it's pretty blind, it's like I don't know if I want to just go right through that, and I find that mentality is actually really hard to get out of. That was probably my biggest roadblock in autocross was like I was taking it too easy at first. and it took a bit of time for me to start like kind of trying to push it until I actually was like comfortable completely. But like I think that's like the biggest hurdle going from like what we do, which is like, you know, the consistent, you know, Touge and the occasional times we went to Apple Valley. Like I still never really feel like I pushed it in those environments because there's that level of fear, like, shit, I could hit something, you know, where at the most you could hit a pole at autocross, but they set up the course so that you're unlikely to just go wham into some random pole in the parking lot that you drive in, you know?
Yeah,
it's extremely unlikely.
There's plenty of runoff and stuff like that, so you can just
exactly
kind of fuck
I
around.
I just wish there were more really nice one-way roads.
I feel that like Little Tuna
is like the only fucking one I can think of in California. I'm trying to find some up here, but because Midwest, they're like, yeah, we need to make all the roads so huge you never need to have a one-way street. So I can't for the life of me fucking find. I mean, I found some cool roads, but not like I can test them out.
Yeah, not like you have a car, Dab.
Let me grab my fucking Suburban.
Going 25.
Yeah, Touge the Suburban, bro.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't tried to kill me.
It's a Chevy. Chevy's never made a car with good suspension.
That's kind of a fact there, yeah.
I think I've mentioned it to you, Jack, that there's been a time where the automatic transmission has shifted while I'm in a turn and has tried to make the car
spinning
roll.
out. Yeah, I get that. You ever seen the video of me on 33 where my car just randomly decides to change gears and I start oversteering going 90?
No, I have not.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, I would like my car back, please.
All these auto cucks having their car shift gears for them.
Oh, it's even more fun because my mother-in-law actually got me for my birthday last year a track day to my local, like the nearest racetrack near me.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have
wait to use it. One day I'll be able to race my car.
Yeah, just run it.
Do you just want to send SoCal to go rough up the shop, Liam? Maybe.
No, I like to take care of things myself.
You don't have the fucking balls to do it, Tez.
You know what? If you go, I go.
We can both get fired together.
I'm sure there'll be really fucking intimidations.
Yeah, this is the BRZ, and they're like, I don't know what to do. Too fast for me, clearly.
So I go start beating them up with my 5'2" stature, and then they say this is unacceptable. I'm gonna need to speak to a manager, and I'm like, James, you're the manager.
Yes? Oh no.
Hey, you work for right?
No.
Wait, what do you, Tess? What the fuck do you do?
Your mom, preferably.
Okay. Anyways, can you warranty my Corsair gaming mouse for me?
Oh yeah. Do I look like Corsair? I don't know.
Yeah.
Here, let me check. Let me call the base department real quick.
We unironically, if in theory we did work there, get that shit a lot.
Yeah. So I need you to warranty my Corsair gaming mouse since you work at.
My Corsair gaming mouse broke too.
Is it the left click?
Yep. Was it an M65?
Oh, yep, there it is.
Holy shit. We both have the same broken mouse.
Guess how many fucking years this mouse has had that problem?
How many?
Since they started making it like 3 years ago, they have not fixed the issue.
Well, there's an M65 Pro or something, but I think it's funny that we both have the same busted mouse.
Look at the M65 Pro. A 15-year-old MX518 Logitech mouse.
Wait, they haven't. What's the one? Is that the 1.8 liter MX5?
Well, anyway, let's get back to
MX5.8.
I just had to shit post about my mouse because I'm so angry that like I thought I was going crazy because let me click on something. Oh, it didn't click. Must have just been me.
Dude, I can't believe that we both have the same broken mouse on the Touge.
Anyway, getting back to cars, there's actually something I do want to talk about. Recently, Hyundai actually bought the Boston Dynamics. If you don't know who Boston Dynamics is, they made basically robots. You ever seen that scary like dog robot thing where they kick it over a big giant? It makes that weird like noise, and,
yeah, I know
and people. Yeah,
That's a good doggo.
Hyundai recently bought that company. And I think actually this is kind of interesting because Hyundai being a Korean car company, and if you guys don't know this, Honda also has a robotics division, which is of course a Japanese company.
Well, actually,
So I
like Subaru, Honda, Hyundai, I think even Kia, Toyota. We're used to their car company, their car divisions, but they are giant mega conglomerates with a finger in literally everything. Even if it's not necessarily under their own name, they will have another company or another industry that is owned by their umbrella corporation, basically. And they will have a finger in ship manufacturing, cargo. I mean, you'll see Hyundai cargo containers, and that is owned by Hyundai. They have a cargo container manufacturing business, and that all these big Japanese corporations, they've diversified way more than a lot of American companies have.
Yes, that is true. Like these Asian companies, Korean or Japanese, tend to branch out into several other ventures besides just motorworks and stuff like that. No, I know Mitsubishi made a $300 like toaster oven, which is nice instead of making an Evo 11 or anything like that useful. But
they have a cheaper car than the Mirage now.
I mean, don't discount the Evo. I mean, Renault is apparently working on something. I refuse to believe that it's not completely gone. Come on, have some hope.
What do you mean don't discount the Evo? It's discontinued for 5 years.
Yeah, it's kind of gone. I don't think Mitsubishi or anyone else is going to pick up the Evo anytime soon.
Renault.
I have better hopes of something more miraculous coming back than the Evo.
Oh, a French Mitsubishi, that's going to be really good.
I mean, they did make the fastest front-wheel drive car.
That's like being the fastest one-legged man.
It beats out so
or
many
having
other
the
things,
fastest Beer Z.
Tez beats out so many things.
You're next.
Well, back to the topic, and I think this is interesting because of robotics and also because of the way of the future autonomous cars and stuff like this. I'm just wondering if buying out Boston Dynamics, making robot dogs and stuff like that, as anything related to autonomous cars or autonomy whatsoever.
Boston Dynamics, their main thing isn't necessarily the little robot dogs you see going around.
Behind it.
I also see their parkour robots as well.
No, I mean their main market is the electronics behind those robots that lets them perform those actions. So if you want some very high-end AI that's able to do some really crazy shit, well, you go to Boston Dynamics, because you want motor controllers, you want the sensors, you want the ability for it to perceive its environment.
Also,
let's
just say you have a parking space. It's really tiny. Some robotic legs will come out from under the car and like lift it up. And you can also use this to change tires and stuff, or the brakes. But it'll lift it up, and then they'll just walk to the side into the parking spot.
See, what I want out of my cars, I wanted to actually replace the wheels with like 8 legs and just turn them into like 80-mile-per-hour spider cars.
I want to drive a robot dog. Fact.
Millipede car.
Millipede car.
I mean, they tried this. I think it was Ford or GM made one of these a while ago. Let me find it.
What are you saying, James?
I was just saying, would be funny to just like hop into your car and it just, you start walking a giant robot dog, basically.
That'd be weird.
It would be weird.
It's true all-terrain vehicle right there.
I mean, it truly would be all-terrain. I mean, that could literally go anywhere.
The General Electric walking truck.
Oh.
General Electric walking truck.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Now we
all have to take a moment to actually look at this thing, the walking truck, and here it is. It looks like it has it definitely did not skip leg day, that's for sure.
Yeah, this is when our dear viewer base of 50,000 viewers and listeners is also searching the same thing.
The thing is, with something like that walking truck, I don't think 4 legs like that would work.
It did. Here's the problem with it, though. This was made electronic ability to steer it, so the operator had to use his arms and legs to control the arms and legs of the vehicle, and apparently it was so mentally taxing people couldn't do it after 10 to 15 minutes. They had to stop.
Oh wow. It's kind of
It would climb
interesting.
over shit, and if there's a video of it somewhere kicking over a truck.
Yeah, but the thing is, how fast can it go? Because I
don't
imagine.
know. I mean, that's the thing is that not necessarily the speed that I'm thinking of. It's like if we adapted that technology, it's like if we used modern day controllers for it, you know, what could you pull off?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we could actually pull off a lot with like legs on cars. But I don't think 4 in like a typical mammalian setup would work. That's why I'm thinking like the spider car, like 8 legs.
I wouldn't be stable.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, like 8 legs could potentially give it a little bit more speed, a little bit more stability, and make it truly all-terrain.
Oh, I got something for you.
Maybe your car has like an arm on it, and your car's arm can just reach out and grab other cars.
That would be kind of interesting. Have like like little arms on your cars where you can maneuver it to like other cars. Like imagine that like on a police vehicle, like having arms in your cars to try to capture. Actually, what?
They have that. They actually have something like that.
Arms
let me see if I can find that.
Okay. Well, I think that should be a little bit more common then, if that is actually a thing now, to have like little arms to, I wouldn't say like grab onto stuff, but I don't know, do something.
There you go, Derek, the Mondo Spider.
Like, have any of you guys seen that anime Outlaw Star where they had the spaceships that had arms on them, and they would like for space battles, instead of like flying around or shooting lasers and stuff, they would like arm wrestle and shit. I thought that was
awesome.
Yeah, Outlaw Star was really cool. It was a really good anime.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's called the grappler. Basically, it's an arm that's folded up, and you can just drop it down from the front of a police car, and it just goes in front of the car, and you drive up behind someone's wheel, and it like cap a wheel and axle and
the one with the net thing. Yeah. I thought that's pretty cool. Like just shoving a net in the rear axle to capture. That's also something we should probably do more often, honestly.
Well,
I know they started
implementing them.
Yeah, I know they've been implementing, I think, in Arizona at the moment, but I don't know where else.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Mm-hmm. Another thing, so my dad has wanted to do like there's this project that he likes to call a Crown Hick for whatever reason, but it's basically you get like an old Ford truck, which most of them are roughly the same wheelbase as a Crown Victoria, and you just put it onto a Crown Victoria frame. And like some of the advantages of that are you get better suspension all around. You can actually find parts, and you can use the engine and transmission. Basically, since Crown Victorias are full frame and they are decent handling cars, you can just put some old full frame bodies from other stuff on it, and then have like sort of like a resto mod. But the thing is, he's wanted to do that for a while. And one of the things I found out is a lot of the times on these things, they just cut the first foot or so of the frame off because the front of the frame protrudes too far out from the front bumpers of most of these trucks. So if they're going to cut that part of the frame off, that's the only part of the frame that's even bent on my wrecked Crown Vic. So basically, I was talking to him about it, and there's like a 90% chance at this point that we're just gonna haul the wrecked Vic out here. We're gonna dispose of the body, and we're gonna turn the frame and the engine and transmission and diff and all that into a F100 resto mod. So the car will sort of live on.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
much. Yeah, it's pretty much gonna happen.
How do you guys like the hydraulic arm rock crawler?
Yeah, I see that there.
That's pretty sick.
It's pretty cool. Now, the Crown Vic with his being built as body on frame vehicle, that actually opens a lot of potential. So you do actually have a full on frame. You might have to cut off the front end or whatever, which, like you just said, protrudes a little bit too far out. Might not even need it. You can turn that frame or car into a lot of different things, because that's actually what a lot of Hollywood productions do. They actually just have a frame with engine, transmission, all of that, and all good to go, and they just put a body on top of it to fit the need, whatever they need for the movie or the scene or whatever thing like that. You could kind of do a similar thing if you want. Just kind of swap bodies on it and just drive a different thing every so often. You actually do have
what it's going to be, because there's the F-100's body swap is actually a pretty well documented thing at this point. A lot of people have done it. So it's like, it's probably, I mean, that's pretty much what's going to happen to the car as far as I can tell.
That's pretty cool, because the thing is, you already have a lift and the ability to just swap out bodies. I would actually, if you go a little bit further, try to just make multiple bodies for that frame and just...
Nah, it's not worth it.
Not worth it?
It's a ton of work to swap a body. All the wiring has to be done up.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You can't just like slap it on and just drive off.
Yeah, you can't have a hot swap body.
Yeah, and you can always get another frame. I mean, Crown Vics aren't expensive. It's easy to find a wrecked one. That's nowhere near as badly wrecked as mine, for example.
Rolling cage, know what I got? $5K.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'm just excited on the prospect of being able to, kind of bring the car back in some way.
No, that's really cool to bring back the old Vic that due to your unfortunate accident and kind of keep it alive in some way or to some capacity. That's really amazing, honestly.
Transmission, frame, suspension, same, except for the body. You know that.
Oh, we're losing you.
Yeah, narrow. Yeah, cutting off a little bit there.
Sorry. What I was saying is it's going to be the same diff, engine, transmission, suspension, frame, and it's just going to have a different body.
The organs.
So with it you've seen handle. I know that as well, Liam and Tess. That thing's going to be a crazy truck.
I think it'll be fun.
Sleeper. Yeah. Anyway,
Officer, no, she's still alive. See, I took her organs and implanted them into someone else.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, that's the deal there. Probably going to use like the same dashboard and shit.
Yeah, I mean, with that Vic, you definitely should salvage that or do what you need because you did put a lot of work into it. So that's a really cool idea to bring back the frame or use whatever you can and just keep it alive. Like, keep it alive as long as you can.
Yeah, well, I mean, I undid all the work and redid it on the town car, like all the suspension mods and stuff. But, it's just the idea of keeping it around because, sentimental value and shit. I'm a kind of dumbass.
I didn't have that much sentimental value for my first few cars. I don't think your first car was that E92, right?
Yeah, but those things suck, in my opinion.
I would just like to briefly bring back to how Renault is the savior of the motorsports world.
Yeah.
The Renault Megane RS Trophy R is faster around the Nürburgring ring. This is going to be embarrassing to a lot. This is horrifying. It's faster than, of course, the Chevrolet Corvette C6. What are we even joking about? But it's also faster than the Pagani Zonda, apparently. A ton of the Lamborghini Murcielago LP640. Of course, a bunch of Mercedes because, haha, lol, get wrecked. The Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Of course, it destroyed the Honda Civic Type R because of fucking course. Yeah, the Bugatti EB110. Like, it's just a whole bunch of really expensive cars all getting beat the fuck out by a French hot hatch. It's front wheel drive.
Here's the thing. I mean, that's great and all, but the problem is I don't really care because how many of those cars are actually coming here to America?
Oh, that would be zero?
Yeah, exactly. Zero. Jack shit. There's none of. I mean, that's amazing. I love to have those cars that beat the fucking Camaro and stuff here in America. Unfortunately, the French don't export their cars outside of Europe, so that's somewhat irrelevant to us. But it's nice. We would love to have that kind of technology over here. It's just that it's just too far reaching.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll.
Oh, never mind. I just oh god.
You okay?
I just felt something horrible.
Did you throw up in your mouth?
They were originally going to. So Renault and I haven't been following this at all because I don't think anyone's been keeping up on car news because it's all just depressing nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to see if they were if Renault and Mitsubishi were actually going to be making the Evo. That was discussion. They were thinking about, hey, we're going to put the engine from the Renault Megane RS, that insane front wheel drive hatchback. We're going to think about sticking that in the Evo. That's not happening, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, wait, what the fuck? So it's not going to be an Evo. If Renault is going to be doing it, it's the Evo's dead, right? They're going to sell the Mitsubishi Lancer. It's going to be in China, like exclusively, and it's not going to be an Evo. But apparently, they're currently working on taking one of their saloon cars, the Tita. I fucking don't know what the fuck that is. They're going to make it 4-wheel drive, and they are planning to cram that fucking monster of an engine into it.
Holy shit. That might be pretty cool.
No Evo, but it's going to be an Evo.
Kind of Evo. Franken Evo.
Franken Vic.
Everyone's calling the French-Japanese Frankenstein.
French-Japanese.
I'd be down. I don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, currently the only fucking thing that I have any hope for is that stupid fucking Toyota that I hope is going to come out and not be a dumpster fire like the Ford Focus RS.
Just buy a Crown Vic, bro.
Yeah, just buy a Crown Vic, bro.
Yeah, just buy a
fucking manual conversion for me.
No.
No.
Pussy.
Buy a 3rd gen Eclipse, dude.
Do it yourself, pussy.
No.
Buy a SN95.
I was tempted, but at
Get
the
a
same
Terminator,
time,
bro.
if I'm going to get anything up here, it's like, okay, I have my ethereal street car that doesn't fucking exist, and I have my SUV. If I'm going to get anything, it's going to be something to go on the never-ending amount of back roads and trails up here in Minnesota.
Get like an off-roader, yeah.
I don't want a fucking UTV. I don't want a CVT flip machine.
Yeah, they're not really very fun to drive, honestly.
No, they're not.
Have you driven one?
Honest, I've been looking at
Yeah, I've driven a CVT.
old VW buggies, like the rails and stuff.
You've driven a UTV, Tez?
Oh, I thought you said CTV or CVT.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm saying that like, all UTVs have CVTs. There is literally only one UTV on the market that has a manual transmission. It's that Yamaha, and I think they canceled the manual transmission for it for these recent years. And also, it's like $23,000.
Amazing.
Yeah. They're really like they're kind of fun, but it's more fun to just have like an actual short wheelbase off-roading kind of rock crawling.
Oh wait, before we go here is peak performance off-roading. I found this a couple days ago, and it's mocking me because I want it.
What is that we have here?
That's a piece of shit.
That is
Does that go into the water?
That is peak performance. Yes, it's amphibious.
How is that 95? Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's
It's amphibious. It's so cool.
What the dude? It's going over like a gigantic jump in that
Look
picture.
at that.
Yep,
That's so cool.
See, here's the thing. These like 6x6 amphibious little things. They're everywhere, right? Most of the time, actually, no, it's like all the time. They don't have suspension. They don't come with suspension. So if you go over a bump, all that force is being directly transferred to those super expensive bearings that are inside inside of it. So if you want to do anything rough with them, well, great. You're going to be replacing those fucking bearings all the time. Turns out there's a whole community of people who slap on custom-made suspension rigs onto them. And I only recently found out about it. There's no kit for it. There's not even any guides for it. It's like, you need to know enough about engineering to make your own, swing arm setup and then, machine it so that it fits, the fucking axles from, I think these are from a Porsche. I think it's always from a fucking Porsche. But it's just, that looks great. Like, oh, that's so cool. You can go in the water and you can get up to speed with it. But no, I complete custom fab. Like, no thanks.
These things are sick though.
I would love to have something that's amphibious, but like, again, they're all maintenance queens. Like, they're all not designed to go fast. It's like they're designed to get you out into the middle of a swamp so you can set up some fur traps and you can get yourself an otter.
I get a pet otter? Hell yeah.
No, it's going to die.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're called squeeze traps.
Oh, that sounds fucking bad.
I don't want to kill an otter.
5 of them down in the basement.
Bro,
sounds amazing.
You monster.
I'm going to catch me a nutria.
They have those up in Spalia?
There is literally, if you throw a pin or throw a dart at the United States and there's water nearby, there's probably nutria there.
Because I thought nutria were only a southern thing in waters. I didn't know they were up north.
What are nutria?
Anyway, they're like
imagine a rat beaver.
Yeah, it's basically a water rat is the best way to
we have them up here. If you look at it like a map of the United States, if there's a major watery area, they're there.
And the worst part, they're invasive species too. So like if you see a nutria, it's actually good like to kill them because they like chew up vegetation.
Apparently
they look kind of like a smaller capybara.
Yeah. Basically, I mean,
capybara,
beaver, nutria, they're all very closely related.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look very similar too.
Well, anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for all tuning in to the California Touge podcast, listening to us ramble about random bullshit. If you like us, the most retarded shit you can ever possibly think of about relating to cars or possibly even pertaining to cars. But if you like us, subscribe, share, do whatever the most people do shit, whatever. But go ahead, because we are very unmarketable, so we can't actually market ourselves. We have to have you guys market us. So have fun. Thank you for joining us. We'll join us for our next time, whenever that may be.
Yep, bye.